There's some grumbling downstairs in another region.
I missed that one. Make it happen again.
Pull my finger.
Okay, ready?
No. Yeah.
It's the Jack
And Cathy
Show.
Shit Show.
And there we go.
Yeah, how was that?
Okay,
Did you like
I
that
think
one?
I think it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It reminds me of that thing.
Oh, God.
Guess my fart.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Remember?
Let me know the next time one's surfacing. I will guess it. I look tired.
Well, we both look tired. Hi, Happy New Year.
Hi.
Welcome to Season 3 of the Jack and Cathy Shit Show.
Whoa, season three, babe.
Season 3. We've done the podcast longer than we've been together.
Not quite.
No? Mm-mm. So we had to be together to do the podcast?
That's how it works. That's how it went.
Lots going on in the world, by
Yeah,
the way.
like what happened today.
Oh, do we have to lead with that?
Well, it's very appropriate
Do we
for
have
anybody
to-
watching because my wonderful, loving, amazing fiance Jack is sitting here in his Packer gear. He's got it.
I'm not
Excuse
in
me,
Packers gear.
his Bears gear.
Bite your tongue.
His Bears jersey, his Bears hat, and I'm wearing respectfully wearing my orange scarf.
And I'm $300 lighter.
And
God
he
damn it.
lost. He lost.
You know what I'm going to try to do?
The
I'm going to try to find that
Packers-
clip. Swear to God, I'm going to try to find that clip
Yep.
and play it.
The Packers
I
and
was
the Bears
so
played
fucking
today.
confident at the start of this season.
Yeah.
Don't even.
I did not even entice you to make that bet. I wasn't even like
I have
talking
look at
smack
look at
or
my
nothing.
Watch.
And
Look at my watch is even orange and blue. Look at that.
I
Oh.
was not even talking smack or anything about it. And you're like, the Bears are going to like, I forget what the bet was.
Did I say? Do I talk like this?
Yes, you
Do what I
did.
do?
Yeah, you did. And you wagered, you're like, I'll bet you $100 on each bet that, wait, you made 3 bets, $100 each, that when the Bears and the Packers meet twice during the season, that the Bears would win both games and that the Bears would have a better record at the end of the season.
And
right?
so here's what's great.
So
It came down to the last game, and if the Bears had won, they would have tied. So they would have both split the regular season, and then they would have tied for record. So it would have been a wash. As it stands, I'm out 3 bills. It's fucking
What can
bullshit.
I say?
Well,
I'm going shopping.
I'm amortizing that shit over 12
I'm going
months.
shopping.
You're
I'm
getting
taking
3
that.
bills over 12
I'm
months,
taking
lady.
that $300 to New Zealand and making it.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you right now. You get
$450.
Let me tell you, you're getting $25 a month, and you're gonna like it.
There's no payment plan.
There's a
You don't get to make rules up
I'm
after
using
you make
Split It.
bets.
That's the name of the company. I'm doing a buy now, pay later. That's what I'm doing.
I like how when you
Oh,
when you start playing a game, you change the rules
I'm not
after you've
changing the
lost.
rules. I'm still gonna give you your money. It's just overtime.
You changing the rules. Yep.
Is that what we're gonna start the new year with? It's so depressing. They just suck.
I'm sorry.
You're not.
I'm not.
Of course, I have to be in Wisconsin, which
Packers
makes it worse.
are in the
and at a
playoffs, and
get down to plant, and they're going to lose right away anyway, so it doesn't matter. Great. So you get one extra game to get everyone's hopes up, just to dash them. At least our team is honest with us. They suck, and they let you go home at the end of the year. You guys
At
have
least
one more.
our team
you got
is
one more.
honest with us.
We may surprise that. You're going to get annihilated in the first round. Bye-bye.
you want to put money on that? Care to make a wager?
Yeah. How about the whole thing? Double or nothing? I'll go
No, I
6
want
bills
my
in.
$300.
No, double
No.
or nothing.
No.
Fine. You have to wear a Bears hat the entire trip to New Zealand every day.
No, that's not going to go with my outfits. Sorry.
It's a matching thing.
It is. Yes, for the sake
There are
of fashion.
so many other things happening in the world. Can we talk about them?
Yes, babe. We can talk about them.
Dude, it's so... The worst part about it is that, it'd be one thing if you were like flaunting it and you were at a Bears party, because at least everyone would hate you then. But I had to be with your friends in Wisconsin, and you just were mocking me.
You live here now, babe. You have green and gold.
Don't.
In your... You have green and gold in your veins now.
Not even close. I'm going to take... And my daughter got me this amazing green sweater for Christmas that I'm now going to burn.
No.
Yeah, I'm lighting it on fire.
It's not a Packer sweater.
It looks like it. How about you have to get a Bears tattoo?
What?
On
How?
your forehead.
Why is it?
Dead center.
That's the wager? I get a Bears tattoo on my forehead.
And if I lose, then it's just a bad day. There's got to be something else we can talk about than to start the first 5 minutes of this podcast. Oh my God, I haven't been recording the video the whole time.
Oh my God.
So it's just been audio. Sorry. Here, now we're going into it. That's okay. We'll run a long intro. I forgot to press video record. But people will still listen to it. It'll just be... See, I'm really depressed, so I didn't think properly. I thought I pressed play.
You were depressed.
All right, it's 6 minutes of no video. People will be fine with that.
No, I think the whole podcast is going to go under. I think we're going to lose all 4 listeners.
What a shit show of a life I have.
So we have a topic for today.
Well, wait a minute. We're diving right into it. There's so many other things going on in the world.
Okay. Talk about what else is going on in the world.
I don't know. You tell me. You know what I was reading about before you came downstairs? And I don't like reading about it because we're about to get on planes and shit like that.
Oh, don't torture me with...
Well, no, that Alaska Airlines flight. I was reading
I know where the door came
first-person
off.
perspective.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Like
if
shit
someone
flew out
wasn't
the,
buckled in?
Cell phone. Oh, gone.
Yeah.
Cell phones flew out. Bags flew out.
Yeah. I'm so glad nobody was hurt on that.
And fuck Boeing. They're now trying to say, well, we'd like to have a pass on some safety rules for the time being as we figure it out so we don't ground the planes again. What the fuck? You know what it is? It's just like, I don't know. I just worry that people aren't giving a shit in life anymore. Like, these are shit jobs, and inspectors' jobs are shit, and they're thankless. You know what I mean? Am I just
I
rambling?
don't want to go there. I don't want to assume that everybody...
You want to assume good.
I do.
I know.
I do.
You should.
I'm positive.
You are.
You're negative.
I'm not. I'm not negative.
No? What
You
would
think
you
I'm
call
negative?
it? What would you call it?
I'm just talking. It doesn't. I'm not saying. I'm like Glum from Gulliver's Travels. Remember that one?
No.
We're doomed. It's over, man. It's over. Or how about Bill Paxton's character in Aliens 2? Remember Aliens? It's called Alien 2, but it's Aliens. Remember that? It's called Aliens, but it's the second Alien.
Yeah.
Do you remember that character at all? It's over, man. We're not going to make it. Do you know that at all? Oh my God, I got to find it now.
I think so.
I know I always do movie quotes, so just what do I always say? What's a jackism? I'm going to find it.
What,
I just say indulge me.
There's many jackisms.
Here it is. Here, listen. Listen. This is Bill.
Great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do? We're some real pretty shit now, man. You finished? That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon.
That's me right
It's
now.
all over,
It's
man.
over, man. What are we gonna do now? It's game over. Oh.
It's all right, babe. There's always next year.
I honestly can't think right now.
I'm sorry.
It's not funny. God, they sucked. It's $300. I feel like they owe me. I'm gonna sue the Bears. I'm losing.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
That'd be actually kind of funny. Someone's probably
Could that
done
be
that.
a movie script?
Someone has
Somebody
probably
tries to
sued a
sue
sports
their
team because they're
favorite
so
sports
fucking
team
frustrated.
for making them lose so much money.
Well, I'm not suggesting like I hijacked the team or something, but come on,
Ooh,
guys.
I like where you're going with this.
Stop it.
Movie script.
Nine freaking games in a row. Since 2018, we haven't beaten you. This is, come on.
It's not your decade. But it will be again.
You have to say it like that's not your decade. Really?
9 seasons. That's almost 10 years. That's a decade.
It's
And
9
everything-
games, not
nothing
9
stays the
seasons.
same.
9 games. 9
Oh,
games.
okay.
5 years. They play
Well-
2 games a year.
It's still not your decade.
Half a decade.
And nothing stays the same. So I'm sure it is going to change again. So tell everybody where we're going on Friday.
To Hallis Hall to yell at the owners and ask them why they keep losing to the fucking Packers. Just win one game. I don't care if they go 2-15. Just beat you guys. How hard is it? So there's a scene from Bull Durham. Wanna do that
Oh,
one or not,
God.
too? Where the coach gets really mad at the players. Do you ever see this one?
I think I have.
But you know where I'm going? Do you know which one I'm going with?
I think so.
You don't know it. Here, I'll play it for you.
This is a simple game. You throw the ball. You hit the ball.
You catch the ball.
You catch the ball. You got it?
That's how I feel right now. I'm gonna do movie quotes the whole freaking episode.
Let me know when you're done. I'll come back.
Well, you like the banter. For F's sake, let's do a commercial break the whole time. We're
You
we're
are
very excited.
very, very bad loser.
I'm a terrible loser. You know what? That's another movie scene.
Oh, God.
You know what it's from?
Somebody help me. What is it when you try to ask for help with nobody, like, where you're trying to send
Well, I don't know.
a sign?
Like an SOS?
Yeah, like an SOS.
Okay, well, I got one more for you. Here, listen to this. There's a quote. Oh, I can't find it. There's a quote from Moneyball where Brad Pitt goes, you know, I hate losing more than I love winning. That's me right now. All right, 12 minutes in, I've wasted everybody's time. We are going to New Zealand to visit your friend Nancy, and we leave on Friday.
Yes, New Zealand.
Yes.
So we're very excited. Yeah, and it's summer there, and Nancy has all kinds of plans for us, and we're lucky we get to stay with those guys.
Why are you talking so quiet
And
and serious right now?
I'm trying to think what else to share. She's taking us
You
to.
want to tell how we got to this place of going to New Zealand? How that came about? Go ahead, tell the story.
So Jack has seen the Foo Fighters, loves the Foo Fighters. He wants me to see the Foo Fighters, and I can't wait to see the Foo Fighters because they're incredible.
Foo
And-
Fighters.
And we were out to dinner one evening and we're looking up the Foo Fighters tour schedule. And because they were going to be in Milwaukee for the Harley Davidson, was it the 100-year festival? The Foo Fighters were in town at tickets. We looked at the tickets
Yes.
and they were like $400-500 a ticket, just crazy popular tickets. And so we were looking at their whole itinerary and it showed that they were playing in New Zealand
Yes.
in January, which of course is summer. And I said, oh, you're like, we should go. So of course, instead of thinking,
No, it's a little different. We were sitting at a bar and
I said we were out to dinner.
no, but I mean, but I said, you know, they're playing in New Zealand and you called Nancy and she's like, oh my God, you got to come out here. And so next thing you know,
I think I texted her and
you
she
texted her.
responded.
Maybe
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's how it all came about. Was all instigated by our quest to see the Foo Fighters, and we ended up planning this trip to New Zealand. So yeah, we leave on Friday. We'll be gone for a good week. Should be glorious.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's crazy. I'm looking forward to it. It's warm there. I'm going to start
Yeah.
packing right now. I'm going to pack your clothes. It's just going to be a Bears
We
jersey.
won't need much. We won't need much.
Hey,
It's
are
gonna
we
be
going to do it
gorgeous.
in New Zealand?
Do what, Jack Honar?
I've never done it in New Zealand.
And maybe you won't. Okay.
You know, because we know Nancy listens to this. When we were out, when we first met Nancy, she said, because we were talking about her wanting us to move there, right? And then we said, well, can we get citizenship? Oh, let me finish. You know where I'm going. I
course
said,
I
well,
do.
we'd like to get citizenship there, but we can't because we're too old, right? Because you have to be less than 50 because you can't really earn a living and they want you to contribute to society and blah and blah. But she said I could find myself a chick out there because I would, ready, her words, right? Crush it.
You would crush it, Mr. Honer.
I would be
There are
a hot commodity.
tens of thousands of divorcees for you to choose
Put a
from.
little shrimp on the Barbie. I'd still kill it. Even with that. You know it. You better watch yourself. There's probably a Kiwi Bears fan out there.
A Kiwi Bears fan.
There's probably a woman
There probably
who
is.
and she's just needs love. She just wants to watch the Bears and she wants someone to commiserate with. There.
You showed me.
I showed you. We'll see who's not quote unquote doing it. Oh man. So yes, we're going to New Zealand. We're excited.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
think it's gonna be a great time.
It is going to be a good
I'm
time.
looking forward to it. So we have a layover of 10 hours in LA. Do you want to leave the airport and go see stuff?
Yes, I think that's a really long stretch. So I think we go get our bags, then check them back in, and then take an Uber to the beach.
Okay.
If the weather's nice, and we'll go walk along the beach and we'll grab a bite to eat, and then we'll head back to the airport.
We'll have dinner at the Centurion Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a good plan.
Beast.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So you had, do you want to do a quick little break right here?
Sure. This is a good time for a break. And when we come back, we have a story to tell.
Do you know the value of your home? In the ever-changing real estate market, finding the right price is crucial. Enter Anata Homes with Compass Real Estate. Our 30-minute home assessment lets you know what your home is worth and what it might need to grab top dollar. Contact us via email at hello@anatahomes.com or DM us on Instagram at Anata Homes. That's ENATA Homes. Let's get started today. Anata Homes, your real estate partners for life.
Hi, I'm Alex Bowden, founder of People First Talent and Retention Consulting. Ever dreamt of a workplace where people aren't your biggest concern or frustration, but instead your greatest asset? We make that happen, and we do it in a way that impacts your bottom line with real, cost-driven results. Build your business by building up your people, creating a culture that lasts. Help your company become part of the elite 10% that puts an actual strategy around their people for real results, and let's make a difference together. Email us at contact@choosepeoplefirst.com or slide into our DMs on Instagram at Alex Bowden, AlexBowden_choose people first. At People First, your success starts with your people. Why? Because life's too short to work with jerks.
So, you want to tell the story? This is
So let me, I'm going to do let me do a setup. Can I do a
Please
setup?
do.
All right.
You're better at setups than I am.
Well, I talk too much. You're better at succinctness and emotions, and whatever. So, one of the things that's important to us with this podcast is that everyone sees our relationship, and so we can give advice, and we've been asked to do that in the year-end one. We're asked for advice and things like that. And we're certainly not qualified, trained qualified. How's that? But we're qualified in that we've experienced some things. So
We've lived it. That's our qualification.
Yeah, so we
We've
can
lived
tell
it.
you what we've done and what has worked for us. And we've learned by reading and practicing from therapists and online stuff. And we take an interest in this. But I think the bigger point of everything is that for some reason, and I can't put my finger on it, we both have the same goal to see this work.
Yep.
Okay?
Most definitely.
And when we were in previous relationships, they didn't have the same goal.
Yeah, I
don't know how else to say
feel
it.
like, I don't
Period.
feel like it even
Meaning,
mattered.
yeah, so where I'm going with this is when things are bad then, You have to either say, I'm going to believe that my partner's doing things for the right reasons, not trying to hurt me. I believe in my partner. I believe I have a role in when things are going wrong, even if it's small or large. And I believe I want to fix it. And that to me is it, for some reason, it appears with you and me. And it didn't appear in other situations. So that's the setup, right?
Yeah.
So we often talk about the silly shit we do on Instagram. It's us being goofy and we laugh a lot, and we certainly do that. And we are, like you say, when we're good, we are fucking unbeatable. Vis-a-vis today, we had a meeting with clients, prospective clients this morning, and they're like, God, you guys are such a good team together, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was very nice.
And we are. And when we are bad, man, it's like the Bears and Packers.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like, it's not just one wheel that falls off our wagon. It's like all four are.
It's like, when you call it a yard sale when you wipe out in skiing. Skis
and
go all
everything
over the
goes
place.
flying.
Helmet flies. Poles go all over. You're all akimbo.
Yeah, and it doesn't happen too often, but we do falter. And part of trying to show up authentically in this podcast is sharing with anybody that's listening, sharing with an audience our authentic journey through that. And we just had a moment the other day, and we
so we thought this would be a good podcast to start the year. For some reason, we felt
we had a fight, and that's going to be our.
Well, yeah, but what's really interesting is that you guys have all had fights with somebody else, and it's real easy to dig in your heels and say, "Fuck, man, I was right here. I was right." And our therapist Linda likes to always say, "You may be right, but are you effective?" It's one of my favorite sayings. I know you like it too.
I do. It's good.
And so where I'm going with this is that we both felt that we were right. We both didn't like how we felt afterward. We both left ourselves and went to our trigger places. Is that the right way to say it? However, you reacted your normal way. I reacted my normal way. We don't. I mean, if you want to define it or describe it, we can. But we both went to our places.
I think we should.
All right. Well, we can get there. You can do it. We went to our corners, right? Where where you're gonna be like this. I'm gonna be an avoidant asshole, and you're gonna put your hand up and go, I don't want to talk right now, and I'm gonna lay into you, and you're gonna get worse, right? So it was awful.
It was, and it sometimes really strikes me as crazy how it comes out of nowhere sometimes, because we had a great day, really. And it was some benign conversation that somehow escalated about, really about podcasting and
like plans for next year.
Yeah.
Essentially, right.
For the podcast. Like
growth plans for us. What are we going to do? And the podcast specifically came up. You tell it. Where I'm going with this is that the core I want everyone to realize is that, I don't know where it comes from, Kath. For some reason, we want this to work, and I love your growth rings thing. We keep adding fucking growth rings. And it isn't easy when you're like, fuck this shit, fucker.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To then really have to lay your guard down. Because that's not easy.
Share the story of what happened.
You shared. I talked to her already.
So we were driving home and from Chicago, and we often listen to podcasts. And so Jack says, "Oh, I know you like My Favorite Murder. It's not something. It's not a genre that he has any appeal." To him, but he said, "Yeah, put it."
This was me in the car.
Well, that's great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed
So yeah, and I'm like, oh well, let's listen to some of their very first episodes, which was, I don't know how many years ago, and within a certain number of episodes, they were, I don't know, like their 11th episode, they were number in the top 10 or something. I don't know their exact stats, And you found that completely perplexing because you just heard two chicks talking about nothing, right? And I heard it differently. And it was that line of the conversation that we started to go into the muck. Does that summarize the...
Well, I think it went deeper. It was more relative to us and what are we going to do and what do you think works in podcasts. And so we were just debating the details.
Yeah.
And then I was challenging your thinking and you didn't want to deal with it. Is that the right word to say it? Maybe deal with it's not the right word, but I was pressing you on why you were thinking a certain way, almost in a pejorative fashion, right?
That's probably feels a little more accurate to me. And
you didn't want anything to do with it. You didn't want to engage.
I engaged a little bit, but when I start to feel that it's accelerating and that, correct me if I'm wrong, it can be hard for you sometimes to let go of the topic and just like you'll just keep coming at it. And I get overwhelmed. And what I've learned about myself is because I'm prone to migraines, I have become very sensitive to getting in. I'm very conscientious now of when I start to not manage the stressors in my life very well. And I have often asked for a pause in the conversation. Like, can we not talk about this right now because I don't feel good about the direction it's going, and this probably isn't going to serve us, and can we pick this up another time? And then that brought up the idea that you are feeling that I never circle back to the conversation, that it just leaves you in the lurch and you just always have to shut up when I start to get stressed out, and then we never really resolve or discuss or circle back to a conversation, was how it made you feel.
But I think the key thing to understand is that it sounds really nice the way you're describing it now.
I know.
But we didn't react that way to one another.
No.
It's like, I do not want to talk about this anymore. Me going, great. So we're just going to put this on a shelf and we're going to ignore it. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Well, okay, cool, because I know this story. So it wasn't...
No, I didn't. I didn't say we'll ignore it.
I said that.
Yeah, you
that's
were
what I'm saying.
that.
I said that.
Yeah.
And that what I'm getting at is it was heated between us. We weren't yelling.
No, we weren't yelling, but it was definitely...
It wasn't as calm as we're talking about. Okay,
no,
can we
it
put
was
this on the shelf?
It was tense. It was tense. And I think we know each other well enough now to know what's next, right? And I get nervous about those tense conversations that I'm not processing well, and it's just going to lead me to a bad place, lead us to a bad place. And I also have learned that those pauses can really help, where you just say, you know what, we're not going to resolve this right now. And the direction it's going is not going to be healthy for either of us, nor for our relationship.
Right.
So let's push that pause button. Let's let it all settle. And yeah, we didn't talk the entire way home. We got ready for bed. We went to bed. We didn't talk. In the morning, I think you get up earlier than I do. We weren't talking. And then did I have to go somewhere?
We worked out together.
Oh, yeah. We worked out at the gym.
Yeah.
And it was just all kinds of uncomfortable tension that even we woke up with it too. And we had two different cars because we went and had a breakfast meeting and I was meeting Jenny. So we had two separate cars. So when I got home, you asked to talk.
Yep.
And that was my intention as well.
But by the way, that's not easy for me.
I understand and I appreciate it that much more that you even
it's not easy
said
for
that.
you either.
No, it's never easy to say I want to talk.
I'm just saying for the audience, it's not easy for me.
Because when you've had an argument like that, there's still a part of you that is playing the tapes from last night going, I can't believe he fucking said that. I can't believe...
We're both doing that, right?
You know, you're still playing those tapes that are those fresh tapes from last night, and maybe you haven't completely... found enough distance between your emotion and the topic to have this objective, feedback later. And I don't think we were quite there yet, but you approached it very, very well and, said, can we talk? And, how did you say it? How did you approach me?
I started with, you were wrong last night and let's go through it. And what you did wrong. And I said,
I pulled out a whiteboard.
I had a list.
Made the list.
I had a video from the car. I actually don't remember how I brought it up other than, hey, do you have a minute to talk about, And then you were about to get in the shower.
Yeah, shower was warming up because when I got home, you were on the phone. So I just went straight up to shower.
Right. Yeah, I was on a work
and
call.
I fully had intentions of walking in the door.
Yep.
And if you were available, I was fully intending on discussing things with you. But you were on the phone, so I went to get in the shower.
To be sure, it wasn't, I get points because I asked us to talk. I hope you don't think I viewed it that way.
I only think that plays into the conversation because you were in a... I don't want to sound accusatory right now. You don't feel I circle back to the conversations ever.
Let's get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was...
we'll get to what we talked about. So I don't, it feels like you need to say that, I was going to say something. Oh, I know why you're getting, let me see if I got this right. You're saying that because you had said you needed time, that you were going to come back to me. Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay. Mm-hmm. I misunderstood. Mm-hmm. Thought you were looking for props or something, but I get it now. Okay.
Always looking for props. But...
Always looking for props. Yes, the Packers won, and I owe you $300.
Thank you.
$270 to be sure.
That works.
Because I already gave you $30. So that's $270 spread out over 12 months. It's $2 a week.
That's too much as a month that I buy you at Collectivo.
Right. Yes. So I didn't want... It wasn't that I was waiting for or trying to, just so you know, I didn't come to talk to you because I went, she's never going to talk to me. She doesn't talk to me. I went, I want to talk because, to be sure, I'm not kidding when I say this. Common denominator, me. I tend to be avoidant, tend to not like this stuff, tend to turn my back and shit. I went, all right, you have to go address it. So you want a different result? Mm-hmm. You have to be different. Mm-hmm. So that's when normally I wouldn't say anything. I'd wait for you to come up to me and say, let's talk. I said, right, all that. I went, go address it. Talked about what your role was in it, and that was it. Mm-hmm. That's how I came to address you, was my role in it and not what I felt. Mm-hmm. But I addressed it from how I felt I affected you. And I had been practicing that the whole workout at the health club.
Really?
Yeah, because it's funny. I was, it's almost like, did you ever see that? This is all movie clips. Did you ever see that clip from Animal House where he's about to have sex with a girl that's pretty drunk and he's got a devil on his shoulder and he's got an angel and the other one. He's like, you can't. She's been drinking too much. And devil's like, go for it. What are you doing? Did you ever see that?
No.
Okay.
I mean, yes, but I don't remember it like you do.
So... He said worse things. But anyway, I was role-playing all of it in my head going, no, you didn't. No, look at it from her perspective because that's what Linda really, everyone pushes that.
Yep.
So, yeah, I said, hey, you got a second? Can we talk? And go ahead. Mm-hmm. Do you remember what I said?
Not exactly. Not exactly.
I had rehearsed it so I can tell you exactly what I said I was going to say.
Please do.
I wanted to let you know that I'm sorry for hurting you last night. Mm-hmm. And then I wasn't very nice. And you said later when we were post discussing this how you were shocked by that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was shocked that you acknowledged that you weren't very nice. Nice works for me.
Well, nice works for everybody, right?
I don't know. Some people can respond to. I just, for whatever reason, I'm very sensitively wired, right? So. And I'm not saying that's the way to be or that's I'm a better person. I just, for whatever reason, I'm just really maybe extra sensitive or even too sensitive maybe. And when we have heated arguments, sometimes what you say isn't very kind.
Well, so now to be sure, so everyone listening, really listen, because that is the key to, I feel, not based upon anything I've read from the Gottmans or anybody else, that we all want to be seen and heard, right? We hear that all the time. So to do that, you really have to fucking pay attention. I wanted to go the whole year without swearing. I just did it.
Seriously?
Yeah,
the whole year without
I
swearing?
really had a goal of doing every podcast.
Fuck would you want that goal?
Because I wanted, I really had a goal of, dang it. Because I'm trying to just clean up my
hate to
act a little
judge
bit.
your goals, but that's not a very good one. Because the F word is beautiful.
I'll bite it. See? So everyone that's listening understands. I'm going to keep recapping. This relationship is important. Because this is important, we have to step into places that are uncomfortable. We're the common denominators. If we want things to be different, we have to change. I stepped into a role because a few weeks ago, Cathy had said something when I was kind of teasing her, and she said, hey, can you be nice to me, please? It was a moment where you weren't having a great day for whatever reason, right? And you were a little bit more sensitive, which again is fine, right? You were a little more sensitive. You said, hey, can you be nice to me? And I went, store that, mofo, store that.
Was that an aha little
It wasn't an aha.
for you?
No,
Or
it was just store that because you had never
just
said
like
it before.
that's what she needs, yeah.
Pay attention, right? And so it's so easy to get caught up in my needs and everything else. And so you said, hey, be nice. And I went, oh, you weren't very nice in the car. So that's why I used those words specifically. And I hope you don't hear that as duplicitous because I know it can sometimes, as even the transmitter of the exchange and the receiver of the exchange, wonder if there's a duplicity to it, if there's a sincerity. There was a true sincerity there. I would have never used the word nice. I just know that that's a word that means something to you, and I wasn't it.
Yeah. I
Check box.
It seems like kind of funny that we're just making that correlation now. Each of us making that correlation now. That that nice factor. I respond better to kindness, and if it just tends not to have someone else put up walls, And
Well, I always
me being so sensitive, it shuts me down.
I know. I always tell you that I always think I'm leading with nice because in my soul, we've had discussions where you think I'm meaning something really bad and I'm going, no, I just really wanted the spoon or whatever the simplicity of it is. I lead in my soul, lead with nice. I think I say it in such a way that comes off very strong. Right. And so this isn't about me learning to be more tender in my language because I don't know if I'll be that way well. It's about in the moments when it can get intense for me to learn, be nice. You can be yourself. I don't have to try to change the language.
You
but I have
can
to
be
be
intense
nice.
too.
That's right,
You
but I have
can
to
be
nice.
intense. You can be impassioned. I don't want to
That's right.
diminish what your thoughts are or your feelings or anything like that. But when it starts to turn to into a place where it just seems like you're just being mean for the sake of hurting me.
Yeah, and to be sure, in my head, that's not really what's going through my mind. It's what. So to be sure now, can I keep going? You want me to keep telling the story, or do you want to? Okay.
Yeah.
So so first of all, this whole exchange was awesome because we both sat next to one another. We looked at one another, right? Do you feel that that we did that?
Yes.
Okay.
That's literally what we did. I turned off the shower water. I was in a robe, and
the fortunate thing is you were naked, so that was great. So you were just about to get in the shower. So I think that's why we were able to solve the problem.
I put on a robe and turned off the shower and sat down across the bed from you.
No. Try it again. You turned down the shower. You put off the robe. You had the words mixed up. So you sat next to me. I led with, I'm sorry for my role, and yesterday I wasn't very nice to you. I was mean to you, and I shouldn't be that way, and I know I wasn't nice. And then I knew it blew you away because your face was like, whoa. And then we paused for a second, and here's the thing that you did great, which I always need you to do more of. And maybe you were thinking this way too.
I was definitely trying to be conscientious, to show up, own what I needed to own myself, because there's plenty. And also be conscientious to how it would be
you need me
best to
you need to
communicate
show it for
to
me.
you.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you know,
Yeah,
I know what you did. Maybe you don't remember it as well, and we'll bring it down from the cloud for you.
Yes.
But you asked me a question. Your first thing, you said thank you. Then you asked me a question. Do you remember that? Do you remember the question you asked me?
I can't remember now. No.
You said, what in that moment, you said, do you mind if I ask a question to understand things? And that's a big thing for me, right? Like when you and I have discussions, I'll look at you and be like, you are not trying to ask questions or seek to understand. You're standing your ground right now, and I need you to ask me things so you can understand what I'm feeling. You led with, may I ask you a question? I don't know why we're going through this detail, but I feel like we should. And then you said, what about that moment was a trigger for you? What triggered that moment for you? Which I wasn't prepared for. The whole point, I hope everyone listening, you're probably all going like, blah, 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 fight. We do this all the time. This is like new for them. But it is very new for us.
It is. And the nuance of your fights is, I don't know, it's important to us. And I'm sure if anybody is relating to this conversation can feel the same way. It's like the nuance of those arguments you have with your partner or your bestie or something. And we rehash those over and over in our head. Like,
but the key to me then, lesson number 4 of this whole thing, okay? Here's the 4th part of the lesson. I should have written this shit down. The 4th part of this lesson is, and you and I talk about this, seek to understand before being understood.
that's a good one, babe.
And if you can try to listen to what the person is saying, which is what I felt. See, I always feel I need that from you. And I felt that from you. And I don't want to say for the first time, because that's not fair to you, for the first time deeply. I felt, even if it was contrived because you were practicing it, right? Which is okay, because it's not instinctual now, so it's going to look a little and feel a little disjointed, right? The fact that you said it made me go, oh, she's asking about my feelings in the moment. And so that's the 4th piece. And I did not use it as a time to say, well, then you do this. I said, well, when I heard X, I instantly felt this way. And then I did it again. I went and I acted wrong. And just because I was triggered doesn't give me the right to be mean. I kept telling myself, stay on that theme, keep doing it. Because it was important for me that you felt heard. And that I knew.
Same.
Okay.
Same.
And I know for anyone listening who probably gets this shit and does it like nobody's business and fucking nail it every day, well then now I'm going to swear, go fuck yourselves, because it's not easy for me and Kath. This is not instinctual for us.
No, we are definitely training some new muscles, right?
And we didn't have experience with it in other relationships.
No, to sit down on the bed and both of us circle back to the conversation and
so how do you...
And be able to hear from the other person what they weren't happy with, and then be able to say... And I did struggle with that at one point, because it is often felt by you that when I am in my head explaining myself, that it's just being defensive, and it's overriding how you are feeling about something. And so I was really conscientious to try not to do that.
Yeah, you didn't.
And
Because that's the one thing that...
where the question was born from, in saying, so what about that was a trigger for you that I can, be more aware of in the future?
And then we talked about that, right? So it's my feeling, whether I don't like, here's lesson number 5. Don't scorekeep. That's a waste of fucking time. God, now I'm going to swear all podcast. Don't scorekeep. Don't, you do this X percent of times or most of the time, or stop it. Just say, I feel that this happens, and it happens enough that it seems to be real to me, whether it is or isn't. And that's what I said to you.
Yeah.
Right? I said, go ahead,
sorry, if I could add to that, along that same line of, along that same thought process of not scorekeeping, is including never saying you always do this, or you never do this, or, you know, because that's only going to set the other person off, because they can think of probably half a dozen times where they did exactly that.
Right. And a smart ass.
But for some reason in this story right now, I never do it.
Right. And a smart ass like me will say, well, show me the stats. Right. You keep in a log. And then we're there. Now we're to, like, I like to say, we're in a race to the bottom.
And someone for me who can not recall movie quotes in 3 movie quotes in a 5-minute period.
2 seconds. Yeah. That's overwhelming.
I can't, I don't have that recall. So if you need stats, I probably don't have it. You're just going to have to trust me that I know I haven't, you know.
Well, let me
been perfect, but the nevers and the always.
Yeah. So that last lesson was the scorekeeping piece, and here's why I say it. Because I then said to you, it feels this way, that it seems to happen often, and whether that's true or not, it's how it feels to me. Mm-hmm. And so, ready? So I expressed my feelings, and I didn't then lead with, you seem to do it this way. I then said this, can you make a commitment to me that when you say, hey, I really need a break right now, that the next words out of your mouth is when? But be very specific. Hey, I need 30 minutes. I just need 30 minutes, or I need 24 hours. And then let's sit down and talk. And then I said, and be very specific, because for someone like me who wants to solve the problem, so I described it to Kath, for someone like me who needs to solve the problem, wants to hash this out and kind of fight through it.
And also, if I can add.
Can I just finish my point real quick?
Yes, sorry.
You're going to remember your point? Okay.
No, it's gone already, but that's okay.
Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry. Well, but
it's not your fault.
But my point is, I needed to tell you what I needed in that moment. Mm-hmm. So whether the frequency is as real as I feel it is, it feels that way to me. Mm-hmm. So can you, when you need to stop, know that what I need at that moment, because I'm going to keep seeing that thing on the shelf and it's going to be bugging me all day long because it's there, and I can't have it collect dust. Mm-hmm. So at least tell me, hey, I feel this get a little intense. Can we just wait 30 minutes? And I promise you, set the alarm. 30 minutes will both cool down a little bit. Mm-hmm. And let's get to a place where we can talk about it, because I can't process as fast right now. And I said, if you can say that to me, boom, got it. Or whatever it is, 30 minutes a day.
Yes, and that's specific.
And how'd that feel?
It
first awkward,
felt
right?
Totally doable. Okay. Yeah, it felt totally doable, totally fair, that if I am sitting here going, we need to hit the pause button and talk about this later, you need to know exactly when later is, so that your feelings, your thoughts, your process is not put aside and not dealt with.
Yeah, and the example I gave you, did you like that example at all?
I can't remember it.
I said, imagine if a doctor called you and said, we got the test results back, we'll call you back. Mm-hmm. And didn't say when.
Yes.
And then a day went by, or 2 days went by, you're freaking out, right?
But if the doctor said, I'll call you tomorrow at 9 a.m.
That's right.
Or
I'll call you in 30 minutes. I'll call you on my drive home.
Exactly.
Right. You're still worried about it.
So you're letting me know you need specifics, because that makes you feel acknowledged. Yep. That okay, my feelings are not being pushed aside.
You're not throwing it under the
you're not
just dust. You're not throwing it under the carpet or whatever that saying is. Yeah. All right. Well, we're running way long on time, and I don't want to cut us off if you feel we should continue. I'm just, me when it comes to this.
At the end of all this, Jack and I were really proud of each other for sitting down like the grown-ass adults that we are, and not the petulant children that we sometimes descend into being. And we kind of handled this one, and we came back together and we worked that out, and we were like basically high-fiving each other.
Yeah, we were really proud.
Hey, way to get through that fight.
That was really good for us. Yeah. Because it was hard for both of us to step into a moment that we both felt right, and we both felt, I think, a little wrong. You may feel you were more right or vice versa. It doesn't matter, right? That's the scorekeeping shit that doesn't matter.
Right.
The point is, you felt hurt. I felt unlistened to, period. And so what do we do then? Do we stand our ground? Or do we turn to one another?
We fight to the death.
Fight to the death. Do we make stupid bets at the beginning of a football season?
So anyway, I think that's, our big lesson was just...
There were several lessons from it that I'm glad we figured it out. All right. So do you want to talk any more about it?
No, that's good.
You want to reach into the end?
Yes.
Pull out a question. You want me to do this time, or you want to do it?
I can't remember who did it last.
I don't know, but you can kick off 2024, Mama.
Okay.
Rando, right?
Yep. You pick it. I'll read it.
You got it. There you go. Okay. You want to give a brief overview of what the and is for anyone listening to us for the first time?
The and cards. If you go on social media and look up the Skin Deep, there are questions and there's different topics, and it just prompts conversation and connection and discovery with your partner.
Yep.
Or
it's
your
It's a really
or
cool
your loved
YouTube
one.
channel and Instagram stuff. Anyway, go ahead. Random and no filters.
This has a little logo of two people in bed, so this is sex related. There we go. What part of your sexuality do you still not understand, and why do you think that is?
The butt. Oh my God. I am so funny sometimes.
Oh my God.
That was so good. I knew it would catch you up there. Oh. Welcome to 2024.
I am not.
What part of your sexuality do you still not understand, and why do you think that is? I'm going to say, man, if this question was asked of me in my 20s, it'd be totally different.
Of course it would be. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, therefore I am. I feel...
You should write that one down.
Right? It seems like it'd be famous. I feel I've learned to, not 100%, but learn to accept my body and everything about it as I am. And I think that comes with age, because you can't do shit when that six-pack doesn't exist anymore, no matter how much you work out, or the wrinkles that are on a face. And so I don't think there's anything I don't understand. You know what I mean? Do you feel there's something about your sexuality you don't understand? I don't think. Do you think it means sex or sexuality, like being a man versus being a woman, or gender specific?
You can interpret it any way that it hits you. I don't think there's a
first
wrong
answer
way.
better.
But the butt. I think for me, just in general, I don't talk. I would never talk on the podcast. I'm way too private with that topic. That is not, to me, what I put out there, certainly publicly. I will say what this makes me think of is I've never been closer to another human being like I am to you. So I think I've let down a lot of guards that I didn't even realize was up, because I'm now with a human being who knows, that I, scratch my head with my right hand, or I you'd know me so well, is my point, that you can recognize some of those guards that I have up, and you'd be like, well, what's this little wall you built so nicely up there? And I'm like, what wall? What are you talking about? And so just trusting in you and trusting in this relationship, and you make me feel safe, that I'm probably still learning to take down some of those walls. And it's a really beautiful thing. So that's what I'll say to that. That's what it makes me think of.
Yeah, I 100% agree. You are without question a little bit more that part you're learning about. I think there's something cool about being a little bit older. That's why when I meet young people who have wisdom beyond their years, I'm always so blown away.
Yeah.
By how someone in their 20s or 30s can have this insight. I'm like, fuck, I was a doofus.
Like our kids.
For sure, our kids.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have any of that capacity. Maybe I did, but didn't realize it. Or
I was
who
like,
knows?
I don't know if I like chocolate or vanilla ice cream. What?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the quarter beers? Just make it simple.
Yeah.
I was Neanderthal-esque. All right.
That was it.
That was it.
All
Good
right.
first podcast. Welcome to season 3
Here's to
of
2024.
the JCSS. On
Yep.
that note, peace.
You just listened to another episode of the Jack and Cathy Shit Show. All recording, engineering, and production provided by us. Connect with the podcast on Instagram at Jack and Cathy Shit Show for more insight into our shit show of a life. This episode is proudly brought to you by Pint Productions.
Point.